Okay, so good evening, dear colleagues. This is our event in the RESEG, and I'm very happy to welcome you to our tonight's talk. So I assume that this is a group of academics and more people are going to jump in. And we have our distinguished guest speaker, Dr. Jihan Anwar from the Faculty of Languages and Translation, 6th of October University. And she is going to join us shortly. In order to start our presentations, we typically start on presenting the SIGs. So we have the special interest groups. They are like 9 SIGs in the Nile TESOL, and they are affiliated to the Community Service Project nonprofit in the American University. We have SIGs for professional writing for young learners. We have special needs education, and we have testing SIGs. We do have a number of, they are like 9 groups. Our research SIG is the one that is hosting the talk today, and we are presenting everything that provides opportunity for professional development for teachers. Typically, it's English teachers, whether in university level or in schools, or across Egypt and of course globally, because it's an affiliate of Nile TESOL. Okay, so here we go. And we just admitted Dr. Jihan Anwar. I'm very happy to have you. Okay. So, hello, Dr. Jihan, can you hear me? Okay. Okay. She's still connecting her audio. So let's start by welcoming Dr. Jihan Anwar. This is the first time you join us for a presentation, and we're very happy to have you. Okay, hello.
Hello.
Hello, Dr. Jihan, how's everything?
Hello.
Yes, here you go, Dr. Jihan. Now you are co-host to be able to share your slides whenever your time comes. And now I will share my slide in order to properly present you as one of our renowned speakers. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Ghada.
Yes. So this is, of course, Dr. Jihan Anwar, Associate Professor of English Literature. She is Vice Dean in the Faculty of Languages and Translation, October 6 University. She has, mashallah, authored more than 15 publications on literature and translation, including 4 printed books: A Glossary of Travel and Tourism, 2017, Medical Terminology, 2018, Translation and Sufism, Terms and Texts, 2020. It's one of the best books I ever came across. And of course, she has her book on Technical English, 2022. Dr. Jihan, we have this friendship that started a few years back when she was holding the international conference at the faculty, and it was a beautiful event, very well organized and extremely informative. So I'm going to present myself as well. We welcome you, Dr. Jihan.
Thank you, Dr. Ghada. Nice to meet you here and our attendees here. Thank you for this introduction.
Thank you so much, my dear. Thank you. And we're looking forward to your presentation shortly. And for me, this is the presentation of myself, my humble Ghada Al-Akhdar, research coordinator, teacher trainer, and academic manager coach. She is interested in building a culture of research and productive knowledge transaction in the context of teaching and education by and large. My research interest covers cyberculture, feminism, and the commemoration of cultures. Okay. So as agreed, I'm going to start on my presentation. Is that fine, Dr. Jihan? Okay. So new slide. Okay. Can you all see my screen now? Okay. Is it visible for everyone? The topic I'm taking today is online visibility for researchers. So how researchers are easy to find and locate, and what is the benefit of sharing your work with others. Okay, so this is what the topic is about. It's like research thrives on the promise of mediating knowledge in ways that would be possible for other researchers to use. So the data is verified, a closed methodology followed by neat documentation, and all this ensures that knowledge is carefully transmitted within the circle of expertise in any given field. Visibility of research makes it relevant and useful enough. It boosts the H-index of authors in a given field and creates an easy flow for the circulation of knowledge. Of course, Dr. Jihan is going to cover the H-index part, okay, and we're looking forward to it. Another thing that we keep in mind is that English language is the lingua franca right now. So using the English language, whether in reading and writing in English, it becomes a point of accessibility. So everyone knows everything in their field, but they haven't actually intensified the research unless they get the language as well. And I remember here's the example of the Chinese scientist, someone who wrote about bovine disease 5 years before it broke. And actually his reading and writing all goes in the Chinese language, in Mandarin. So people had actually little benefit of his research, although he was avid and he was very productive. He keeps writing in Chinese. So after 5 years, the bovine disease broke, and which is, it was the disease that came out of animals. They used to have bad brains. So what happens here is that although it was a world round break of disease, nobody actually made use of his research except after the bovine disease became a pandemic, okay? It's one of the earliest cases of the pandemic, by the way. So we are looking together here on the platforms that we have for research. First, we have Google Scholar. We have academia.edu, ResearchGate, LinkedIn, conferences, symposia, workshops, and roundtables. These are modes where people share their work. Of course, we have 2 levels of sharing. The first level goes with the language itself. So if they read and write in English, that's one step ahead. And it makes the accessibility of the research and how they access knowledge itself easier, okay? The second point is for the Google Scholar. Okay, so let's take them one by one. Google Scholar covers something about research. What would that be? It's like our little shopping mall. If you want to figure out everything, the research history for any researcher, you just like tap into Google Scholar. What is interesting is that they give you all the information and the citation data of authors, so you get to know if this researcher is impactful, if they influence their field or not. It's just like, it works like the Instagram of research or for researchers. It has all the data that we need in order to compare and contrast writings in a field, okay? And it has it's like designed around the researcher himself, not around the field. So it's easy to check out different researchers, okay? You get to know of their actual validity and the actual impact they have in their fields. For academia.edu, it's a different platform. It's a website. It has, of course, the paid level, and it still has its own free mode. Academia.edu allows people to share their research, okay? So it becomes like the Facebook for academics only. So, okay, but it's the Facebook for academics only, and it's easy for people to use and to check out other academics. And it's like I think it's Google Scholar and academia.edu, they help both ways. They accept in your academic email, and they directly feed into the academic ranking for your universities, Google Scholar being the more formal platform, okay? And then we have ResearchGate. We know that ResearchGate, for example, is interesting for students and researchers, and it has people from the population of the world. So it's actually the global south, the is there, and it equally accepts students. So we always have this urge to prepare students and train them on writing research. ResearchGate would be one of the best platforms. Google Scholar, Academia, and ResearchGate have common denominator. All of them host the actual work of the researchers. So people can upload the research work for free, where it is accessed through subscription in different other platforms. Could you see? So you can go and send an email to the researcher, he sends it directly to your inbox, or you can just like download their work and it's totally there and accessible at the platform. Okay, ResearchGate is the most populated. It has the most known hits, and it is the least formal, and it includes a lot of students too. So Google Scholar, because it uses the verifying email property that you have in your academic institution, it only allows scholars, okay? If we go to LinkedIn, LinkedIn is known to be the business set. So people can showcase their academic and social work all the time. They see how they connect the personal and the professional and get to present it in a professional way. So LinkedIn is mostly about, so LinkedIn is mostly about showcasing for professional reasons and helps people like collaborate on transferring their skills. So if people are academics and they stop wanting to be academics, they want to go and join the job market in different ways, they can go through LinkedIn as well, okay? Because it's just like, it helps people connect their files and to organize the way they address the market. So this is LinkedIn, and it's very interesting for scholars and for people of businesses alike. We have the actual other platforms that we use for our work, because you know that academic work is mostly writing based. So we have fewer and fewer moments of interaction. So conferences, for example, these are like requirements for academic development. So people can get to have their ideas in progress or their full papers, and they give short presentations in order to test their ideas through academic audience. So what happens here is conferences are a great way for people to get to know each other, to talk over a coffee table, sometimes to talk in between the sessions. So they get to know the good presenters, people who have brains. And of course, it's like a better showcasing for our work, okay? And people get to test their ideas and they hear feedback, instant feedback from friends. Conferences actually would be the space that is expanded if we use social media for academics. So I would always look at conferences as an instance of Facebook for academics or Twitter for academics. And I'm going to take at this point once I start. And then we go for symposia. The symposium is something where people go and they have this multidisciplinary edge. So for conferencing, it only goes for people in a different, in a similar specialization. But symposia is a wider variety, so people can offer different insights. And it's usually something like a very big event that happens 2 years or every 4 years. And then we have the workshops. What do workshops mean? Workshops means it's the deconstruction process. So I get a piece of paper or a piece of academic work, and I show them the actual steps for people to take it from one step to the other. Like, for example, we have a call now. Whomsoever is interested would come and offer to give a workshop on extracting research paper out of an actual thesis. So if people have a PhD or an MA thesis and they want to extract a research paper out of that, there are steps for them to do. So that would be a workshop. Like identifying the writing goal for writers, for example. And then we have the roundtable. The roundtable effect is when you gather people who, different people, they come from different backgrounds, they come from different specializations, but we have one topic and they just like cover this topic. It's not like a debate, it's just like a few people sharing insights on the major theme for a conference or a symposium. So these are the platforms that where academics usually take their work and they showcase it to the world in order to motivate themselves and to hear instant feedback from other academics. This kind of interaction that keeps them motivated and productive. The popularization of knowledge is what I have in mind when I'm talking about visibility for researchers. So turning around the academic method of writing into more popular forms for mass use has many benefits. So it's spreading well-informed decision-making. So I have many people now accessing knowledge. It's not just like academic kind of conversation. We have even people who are popular, people, ordinary users that you find on social media, whether Facebook or Instagram or other. These people, when they get access to knowledge, we have a lot of benefit here. First, this is the dream of 18th century, 19th century, everybody was talking about the golden moment where we have people making informed decisions. And this is what they were looking for. So there is a lot of benefit and a lot of promise when we take knowledge and we make it a popular job, okay? So the benefits include spreading well-informed decision-making. So everybody now, if you want to make a decision over something, you go and read papers. And the academic papers are accessible both as academic papers through the platforms that we pointed out earlier, like academia.edu, ResearchGate, or even Google Scholar. And also people can get short, passionate discussions where scholars are posting live videos. They're going live, whether YouTube or Facebook, or they even tweet about their projects. So people usually get familiar with what is right. It will help them orient their decision-making process if they follow one of the stars in the field that they are that they want to have more development in. So it makes people create well-informed decision-making. It makes creating interest and popularity for academics even in the field, as well as enriching the possibilities for multidisciplinary areas of study. And we have studies that speak of the popularization of knowledge in relation to cosmetics and plastic surgery. People are reading professional papers, academic papers on that topic, coaching, health and wellness. These are the topics that people want actually to, because they want to create a happy life. So they want to access professional knowledge in this field. They follow the academics and they start downloading actual papers and reading them. Okay, so this is an interesting thing. This is an example, a beautiful example actually of how knowledge was popularized, and it actually inverted the game for the field itself. This is Teun Van Dijk, one of the very well-known, he's a very well-known scholar in the field of critical discourse analysis in linguistics. He comes from a Hispanic background, so his first language is Spanish. The guy joined on scholarship American universities, and he started the elite field of linguistics in language studies, okay? Teun Van Dijk took on the mission of opening up a website on his own. I'm talking about the late 90s. He has a website of his own, okay? And he would upload all his books, all his articles, and he would even upload extended videos of his lectures in the classroom. So that was the earliest idea of the MOOC, the courses that are offered for free on the website for the universities all across the world now. And this is where you have the major population of Coursera, the free courses that universities are offering, along with other paid ones, of course. But Teun Van Dijk would do this in his own website. He would upload his videos, he would upload the lectures, the lecture notes, his own reflections, his own articles, and his own books. So if you visit the website, it's very rich and he makes knowledge very accessible. And this is why, I mean, it's like no surprise, 10 years in, we know that critical discourse analysis is one of the most commonly visited fields in linguistics. So it's not an elite kind of knowledge any longer. More people are getting access to the knowledge, more people are getting access to his lectures. It becomes easier, people love it, and it becomes popular, okay? So this is something that he started, and even before, so this is the promise that we have for social media. We want everyone to access knowledge easily, and they feel a passionate connection to it. They feel that there is a human element, so it's satisfying and motivating for them as well, okay? So these are the social media platforms that we have. I always think of Facebook and academia.edu. So you have the A for academia.edu and you have the F for Facebook. Facebook is mostly populated by ordinary people and mostly in their 30s and mostly in their 40s. Could you see? But for academia.edu, this is the Facebook for academics. So academics only meet academics there. They only talk to academics there. Could you see? And they only share academic stuff. And then we have the LinkedIn, the professional thing. It's like how they position themselves in the market in order to be interesting enough for people doing projects or for people who are trying to promote like co-authoring or books or stuff like this. And then we have the Twitter. When people are lonely on their own, they are typing in a sentence or two sentences okay, in order to reflect their own interest, okay? And of course, attract followers. So if we look for social media and the dissemination of information, I would always state Teun van Dijk as one of the earliest examples, because the guy had the properties of social media all go into his own website, but that was not social media. So social media actually can intensify the idea of the social connection. It can give you a lot of visuals, give you media, it makes people connected. And there is this sense of humor. Sometimes we're sharing a lot of memes, we are sharing a laugh and not just information. So it makes it really vivid and social. So connection and speedy access made it possible to deconstruct and share the details of research and academic knowledge production processes, workplace challenges, and the social context of the academic productivity, okay? So these are the quality of sharing here. This is higher. They're not just like sharing the fruit or the end product of their work. They are sharing the processes. So you have people talking about the reviewers, people talking about the writing process itself. They would even talk about workout in order to push away or to boost someone's energy to read something that they don't like, for example, okay? They also rant a lot about academic workplaces. They would speak about, for example, diversity population in universities. And they would also give the social context for academic productivity. So we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have blogs that are the most common platforms for researchers to spread and share their academic interests and to create social support for their work. So sometimes they would hit a project, they would get invited to writing a book chapter or something like that. Twitter, being the most widely used social media platform among scholars, is ironically 140 character post long. So you only write 140 characters on one idea, and then people would identify your field and they follow. And actually, the people who get a lot of followers are the people who are tweeting material that are useful for students or for or even the conclusions of their experiments, for example. Okay, and this is the difference between Twitter and blogs, and we are going to step into that shortly. So converting research work from paper-long production to a sentence-long shareability reveals interesting findings. So tweeting on research keeps the academic interest and productive, where good ideas are instantly celebrated. So you find so many tweets, you know, it raises instant reaction. So what happens here? You know that you're on the right track. You know that there is a demand or an interest for your research project. So it's a good testing area. And also people get to access knowledge and becomes easy for them, regardless of distance, okay? So it's just like expanding conference spaces and making it more immediate and frequent. Facebook is also used to share book signing events. You have the pictures, you have the lines, book. When the books are in print, people are, okay, are you following? I have the screen notification that there is something about the sound. Okay. Are you following, please?
Yes, we are following.
Okay. Okay, so I'm back. Okay. So you have action and passion that makes for the motivation and keeps feeding their interest through creating a community of followers and offers opportunity for sharing academic activities and writings, okay? So people get to be interesting, they get to find interesting things, they get to just like share the vibes, they get to laugh a bit about the challenges that they have writing. So it makes the thing itself, it takes away the book signing event from the delayed gratification slot into the instant gratification slot. It becomes part of academic life and leads to suppress depression and rhythm of our life that used to be is that people keep writing invisible for years, and then they come out with the book. Okay, so this is delayed gratification that would actually compromise their self-confidence and would lead to depression as well. Therefore, taking research visibility online allows for emotional and social support and keeps motivation going and allows researchers to track and follow up with academic production in their field. Okay. This is the example I have in mind here. So these are two instances of academics as popular figures. We start, of course, on Radwa Ashur. She was a writer back in the 80s and the 90s, and she has actually grounded a school for academic feminist writers. Okay, I would also think of Latifa Zayed, those people who would have the research projects going alongside with a side storytelling project. And then we have Reem Bassiouni, now chair of the English department at the American University in Cairo, and she is doing a wonderful job rewriting history, taking the spaces for the academics. Could you see? And storytelling. Then we have the SDGs. The SDGs is part of the UN Sustainability Project to keep producing research in real-world context in order to boost employability and sustainable projects, as well as create opportunities for co-authoring, developing projects, and funding events. So we all know that now it's a UN kind of interest that they want to promote the popularization of knowledge. They want people to access knowledge for industrialization or for wellness, or in order to stop poverty and give them chances for employability. So people used to pay a lot for their education. Now they can just like join free courses and they get the qualification and the certificates. And we know that, for example, LinkedIn, they bought the Linda project, and then we have the LinkedIn education for the subscribed, the paid kind of membership in LinkedIn. We also have something like the nice TESOL that we have here. It's supposed to boost productivity and knowledge for every teacher of English in Egypt or all across the world. Could you see? In global reach as well. So there is a lot of opportunities for free access to knowledge, and we are actually, I think they're on the rise. Okay. These are the SDGs. You will find free education, popularization of knowledge in many of the goals that we have here. And then I would actually like to share the example of Tara Barbazon. Tara Barbazon is the Dean of Graduate Studies at Flinders University, and then she started going back into, she's mostly a professor of cultural studies. What is interesting about Tara is that she is full professor in her, once she became 34, when she was 34 years old. And she was, she's a writer at higher ed education journals, and she is a very famous critic in the field of cultural studies. Okay, what is interesting about Tara is that she has started 5 years ago a vlog where she shares her work. She shares her work and she answers questions to students. As the Dean of Higher Education, she has observations. She would define, she would give you for example, different episodes on supervisors and common problems. She would give about, like, for example, making life or transitioning or going from one place to the other. And this has brought a lot of benefit where people find support groups to common challenges that they find in the academic field. And of course, she brings to people's attention a lot of scholarly work that is done into the everyday challenges and life that we are facing, okay? So she has one of her best series was the Rescue Me, Rescue You series, okay? She has 20 minutes of video going consistently Thursdays in the morning, and she's still there. She promotes on Facebook her old and new video logs, and she still is productive, even though she quit her job as Dean of Graduate Studies, and now she has moved into another place in Australia. Okay, so this is one of the marvelous examples, and she has a lot of very productive and very passionate as well. Okay, so this was it for my presentation today. I was like contemplating means of making research accessible and popular, and I was trying to reflect on what it means to have an academic who is just like affiliated to the academic circles and writing for them. And again, be an academic and try to write for the popular, for the non-academic and the non-expert kind of population. Okay, So I hope this part was enjoyable enough for everyone. And let's hear from Dr. Jihan. Are you ready, Dr. Jihan?
Yes, ready, Dr.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Please share now your screen. Hello. Very good to see you.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you for coming, Dr. Jihan, to the camera. And we're looking forward to your wonderful presentation. Tafadali.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank very much Dr. Gheda, my friend and distinguished scholar, who gave me this opportunity to be part of this session. And let me express my sincere appreciation for your insightful presentation. Because it can be described as an integrated part with what I'm going to deliver now, or let me say it summarizes some slides now to present. Challenges for international research publishing in humanities. First of all, I'd like to define first what is or what are the reliable journals. All international journals must be indexed, which has ISS number or our international standard serial number. It is composed of 8 digits, as you see, and it can be used to identify a serial publication of any book, any magazine, or any journals. The reliable journals are also citation-referred scientific journals. The manuscript is reviewed or evaluated by specialized peer reviewers. And a citation means a reference to the source of information used in a scholar's research paper, in which essential elements of someone else's ideas are directly quoted, paraphrased, or summarized. Reliable journals are divided into 2 parts or two journals: scientific periodicals and electronic scientific journals. Scientific periodicals provide all the contents of their issues for free on the internet, like open access or free online access. Electronic scientific journals are free scientific journals, but they do not have a paper edition and depend on electronic publishing. They are often interested in the impact factor, accredited, and has a great influence. Some indicators to evaluate the value and the quality for scientific journals and periodicals. The first element is impact factor. Journals with higher impact factors are therefore noted to be more important and influential than those with low impact factors. And we are coming here to express or to explain what impact factor is in the next slide. The second characteristic of evaluating the value and quality of scientific journals is the number of citations for research published in the journal since its inception, and how long it takes for papers to start being cited by other papers. There are some institutions such as Thomson Reuters Foundation that calculate such metrics in each academic discipline and arrange the journals accordingly. The impact factor of an academic journal is a measure reflecting the average number of citations to recent articles published in that specific journal. It's often used as a metric for the relative importance and/or impact of a journal within its field. Here, the University of Denver it tries to use this this image It's a journal's impact factor for a particular year. If we want to formulate it or to know the result of it, we can also divide the total number of times its articles were cited during 2 years or previous 2 years over the total number of citable articles in the journal during those 2 years. But we do not ourselves use this, or we do not make this formula. But this impact factor is published or cited in the journal citation reports, or what we call JCR, annually. So they are released annually by Clarivate Analytics. By using this website, or the site, which is www.researchp.com ranking, we can know how or what is the impact factor of the journal specified. So here we can write the name of the journal, and we can know many or a lot of information about this journal. Another indicator is the Schemajo Journal Ranking, or SJR. From this website, www.schemajo.ir or journalranking.com. SJR is a measure of the average scholarly impact of journals. It measures the number of citations in the article of journals published in Scopus over a 3-year period, and the ranking of the journal. Elsevier is the owner of the Scopus database. Scopus classified journals into 27 main specialization lists, from which 313 specific specialized topics emerge, and it also classifies journals according to its orientation. Here, the Schemajo Journal rank interface in the website, from which you can write the journal here, or you can write the subject area to search for a specified or specialized journal. For example, here I wrote English literature. So it gives me many journals like this in the subject area. So the first one, studies in English literature. If we choose this one, we can see some information that are important in the academic field. For example, the country, United States, subject area and category, arts and humanities, and another subtitle area, which is literature and literary theory. The publisher, Johns Hopkins University Press. Another important information like publication type, journals, and the ISS number, the coverage, and also the H index. The H index. And then if we want to know a lot, many other information, you will find these are many journals are categorized and give you this data. The author's H index. The H index or high index or Hirsch number or Hirsch index was suggested in 2005 by George Hirsch, a physicist at San Diego, as a tool for determining theoretical physics relative quality, and is sometimes called the Hirsch index. The H index is a measure for of the number of publications, which is the productivity of the number of research papers, as well as how often they are cited, or number of citation, which should be greater than or equal to H. For example, if you have 3 publications cited 3 times or more, and is a H index then it would be 3. Another example, if an author has 5 publications with 9, 7, 6, 2, and 1 citations for every one respectively, ordered from greatest to least, then the author's H-index is 3 because the author has 3 publications with 3 or more citations. However, the author does not have 4 publications with 4 or more citations. H-index is the author's success indicators, such as winning the Nobel Prize, being accepted for research fellowships and scholarships, and also holding positions at top universities. But it is not only confined to individuals, but also now the impact factor or the H-index can be given to or applied to the productivity of a scholarly journals, as well as group of scientists, such as department or university or even a country. We have to evaluate the international publishing of web databases. We have 2 main databases, Web of Science and Web of Scopus. First, journals included in the Web of Science database. The Web of Science is a citation Thomson Reuters database in which journals published are evaluated and ranked by the journal citation reports. And JCR reports are the most reliable time-tested method for evaluating international journals that provide measurable statistical information based on the number of reference citations for research papers published in the journal being evaluated. So, reference citations from the content of reports are summarized in 2 editions in the Web of Science database. The first edition is Sciences edition, and the second is the Social Science editions. Here, the interface of the web or the Web of Science database website. We open it like this, and then we can search for any journals that needed. Second, are the journals included in the Scopus. Scopus is Elsevier abstract and citation database that was launched in 2004. Scopus covers a lot of titles, publishers, and peer-reviewed journals in top-level subject areas like physical sciences, health sciences, and less coverage of social sciences. And this may be the first obstacle we say or state here about the publishing in social sciences and in humanities in general. How to register on Scopus and then ensure the accreditation of the journal classified in the Scopus publishing database. Sorry for databases not correctly written. By searching the Egyptian Knowledge Bank, EKB, on this site, www.ekb.eg, then you are going to select Elsevier from sources, the word sources here. Yeah, from that, we say top our icon, or by exploring directly the website and create your own account. Or you can go to, it means to go to the Scopus website directly or immediately, and then create your own account instead of this. Then, when you click on sources, you will find a lot of sources like this on EKB. You will select Elsevier here from sources, or by going to the Scopus website. And then after creating your account, you will go to the Scopus website, which illustrates here the description of Elsevier, and then we have list of products. The Scopus database, the third product, Scopus database is very important. You can click on it to explore the database or the many researches of that database. And after creating your own account, so now it's possible to browse and Scopus database, and it's also possible to verify the accreditation of a journal. You can now identify it and to search for an author, publisher, or published research paper, by searching for the title of the journal and the serial number of it. By clicking on this website, www.scopus.com. Here on the Scopus website, you will find here the author search and then sources. The author search, if you want to search for an author, identified author, or you want to explore or browse the resources, here you can click. You can how to make sure that the journal is approved by Scopus, or search for an author, publisher, or published research paper here by clicking on sources, and you will find here the publisher. You can write the publisher name, for example, or the country name, or you can here browse this arrow to find your publisher. If you do not know it exactly, you can, or you want to write its name, you can write it here in enter publisher name. And how to make sure of the publishing rules and instructions of any journal by Scopus. We have in every journal website manuscript preparation guidelines. So the author should submit their manuscripts to the editorial office of a certain journal after applying these guidelines that clarify the formatting instructions and writing style. Then be sure that your manuscript conforms to the objectives and the scope of the journal. And this is very important. And the name, and try to be sure that the name of the publisher is evident and the journal publication is continuous. To know or to talk about the objectives and the scope of the journal and how the manuscript can be rejected for this. I myself sent or submitted my research paper to a journal which is called Written Communication. And they replied to me saying, I write regarding your recent submission to Written Communication titled Symbols of Mystical Ecstasy and Divine Love in the Poetry of Aisha al-Baunia and William Butler Yeats, a Heideggerian reinterpretation. Based on an in-house review, I regret to inform you that your manuscript will not be moving forward in the review process with Written Communication. That is why, because here he says in the third line of the next paragraph, we make these decisions based on multiple factors, including but not limited to the focus and scope of the submission, the current needs and aims of the journal, which means that the objectives and the scope is very important to relate to. And finally, he says, but this does not mean that the manuscript is not good or suitable or academic work or so, but only it is rejected for that purpose. And he finally says that at the end of that paragraph, the third line from the bottom, I'd like to emphasize that this decision is not a commentary or a reflection on your scholarship, but rather an indication that written communication is just not the right venue for this particular piece at this particular time.
Actually, let me just commend you for sharing this. Dr. Jihan, you're one of those very down-to-earth people and academics who make it, it's a beautiful thing. So this is a letter of rejection, and you're sharing that with your audience in a presentation, and just like you live life. Okay, this is part of our life as academics.
No, yes, I just tried
and
to,
this is a sample of what you get usually.
Yes, a sample for the rejection and of the hardships I faced in publishing in humanities and international journals.
Okay, and actually they're looking for things that go empirical, and they want like language studies. This is what they're looking for. So
Yes.
it's fine, but again, I mean, the properties of writing can have good scholarship written on things that are not mainstream pieces of literature. Did you see?
If you want to search for the name of certain author, you can write here the author, the last name of the author. For example, I wrote Mustafa. Author first name Muhammad. Then you can search for a certain author by writing his ORCID number. The ORCID number, you can create your ORCID account ID. You go to the website of the orchid.com and you can create your ORCID account ID number. And after you make your or create your ORCID number, then they will send to you a verifying email that tells you that your 16-digit number ORCID number is كذا ويكتبوا بقى. It will write to you and it is an ID. So here Mustafa, when I searched for Mustafa, I found a lot of names that is called Muhammad Mustafa. So here Mustafa Yasir Muhammad, and then Mustafa Hassan MA, and so on. So many names repeated. But if we notice here that the documents or the number of documents the first Mustafa submitted or published is 82, and the H index is 60. And what is his affiliation? Egyptian Petroleum Research Institute in Cairo. Then the other one or the next one is 78 documents, and H index 11. Then Cairo University Faculty of Engineering, and so on. So you will find that the practical or any other field, scientific fields, which is other than humanities, has a lot of documents or published in Scopus. Not humanities, or the large number itself would be for the engineering, for medicine, physical therapy, or whatever other than humanities. So here is an indication, and this is his ORCID number and his documents and citation trends. I tried to search for my Scopus indicator for October 6th University. So I noticed that the documents that were published in Scopus 660, the authors 278. But if you see the first one, or the one which has many documents in Scopus, is medicine, then pharmacology, toxicology, biochemistry, chemistry, engineering, computer science, and then it will go low later on. And from this by, we'll find that medicine here and the order of them. And finally, you will find humanities is so little, social sciences 13, for example, and then I don't see the decision sciences, economics, finance, and so 1. So it's not like the medical fields or the engineering ones or technical fields. How to search for a journal with the title, abstract, and keywords. Here we have this website, journalfinder.elsevier.com. If you access this website, you will write here your paper title, and then we'll give you many or specified relevant journals. You can also use the paper abstract. You can write your abstract here, and it will specify relevant paper, relevant journals, or by the keywords or field of research. The most important publishing houses that contain magazines or journals that have an impact factor and are free to publish, like Elsevier, Springer, Wiley, Taylor and Francis, Nature, Emerald, and some major publishers and their websites like Blackwell, Hodder Arnold, Reed Elsevier, Sage, and Taylor and Francis. Other websites for the impact factor, journal citation reports I told you about, and Global Institute for Scientific Information, which is called ISI or GISI. Journal impact factor, this is the website. You can also explore it, browse it to find the impact factor, and the EGN factor CN. Here for first submission, if you have your manuscript now and you want to submit it, you found your journals, and then you are going to submit your manuscript. For first submission, this is another journal of world literature. You will create your own account first, and then you will write your username, password. Will log in as an author or reviewer, editor, or publisher. Then for the first time or for submitting a manuscript, then you will go as author login. Then if they tell you or let you review some manuscripts later on after publishing with them, then you will be a reviewer login and have your own password and so on. After finishing the maybe 10 procedures or 10 steps to submit your manuscript, then you will find your manuscript here is going to be settled on the on your page on the journal website like this. So here, Symbols of Mystical Ecstasy and Divine Love. Now it was submitted in June 12 and so on. Then how many manuscripts here or how many submissions? We have only total 1. They will send to you a confirmation email that tell you that we have received your email and it is in progress. And if you want to check the progress of your paper, visit this site. And if you want to, and this is your username and password. And if you want to change your own password, you can go and visit there.
How much time does it usually take, the reviewing process?
Review process may not take a lot if it is paid. It's a journal or a paid journal. And it will send to you a mail immediately, maybe after 2 days or so.
Okay, so the paid kind of journals are the open access ones.
Yes, but always with rejection, or with payment, a lot of payment, as we will see now. For new submission, this is another one, written communication. I know now my password and so, and then new submission. Here I submitted the first one, and then start with a new submission. You can submit more than 5 manuscripts. Some questions and answers. What's the period of publication in the journal? There is the rapid one, which takes up to months, or the one that takes from 6 to a year. How can we know the duration of publication? Mentioned on their website and the details of the average publication period. Can the research be sent for publication in 2 journals at the same time? No, it's not legal. What's the most important factor in rejecting the manuscript? It is only plagiarism. If it is rejected only for academic purpose, it is only plagiarism. And what is plagiarism? The transfer or the quote of text more than 5 connected words from any source without change, even if the source is mentioned. In addition to the use of pictures, tables without mentioning the source. And if the text was quoted from the same previous author's research paper. And how is plagiarism tested? There are specialized software applications used by journals, and the researcher should make sure to check his or her manuscript through sites such as Plagiarism Checker. And these are some sites for Plagiarism Checker. We have program.com.myfiles, with grammarly.com plagiarism. How to make your research paper more popular? We can make it by connecting your keywords to others' research paper, or use academic social media pages, or browse your number of citations and views on Google. And try to connect its publication link to famous academic websites such as Google Scholar, ResearchGate, and Academia. And this is what Dr. Reda has mentioned before. Here for the Scholar or Google Scholar, we create an account in which we can try to upload our research paper, or to write the names, and then the engine will try to detect the journal itself and bring this link on this site. These are the research papers I have uploaded. On ResearchGate, you can create also another account on ResearchGate and try to popularize your work. Here you can here illustrate your or to upload your research papers, and then the number of reads are given every week. And as you see in the first one here, the full total reads are 2,671. These are the reads and one recommendation. For this ResearchGate also website can give you also the countries of the reads here from India, Netherlands, or United States. The Egyptian journals in Scopus or Schimago. First, I tried to search for Africa research papers, or what are the main journals, how many, and so. So I found that in Africa, Egypt is the second country to publish internationally. And when I tried to search for Egypt in the Arab countries, I found Egypt as the first country. And here also by Arab countries, but they are here categorized also according to the subject areas. And we'll see here the Q1, the journal and Q1, and all these research papers are or journals are published here in Egypt, and they are categorized. So other challenges we face in humanities publishing, we find we produce research papers, but in a limited time, maybe before the time of promotion. We are loaded with many administrative works, and we have there is a lack of experience and other skills for research. There is difficulty in foreign language learning, particularly in English. There is a lack of encouragement from the affiliated institutions, from the university or the faculty or any institutions affiliated to. And from many charts like these, we find that humanities is the last one or the least percentage in publishing generally. In Schemajo also, or in Scopus, we find a lot of results that introduce the categorization of the journals. But when we found in humanities and social sciences reviews, for example, we find that these journals, but sometimes we find most of them not valid or pending, or even its last issue of Q1 is in 2019. This is my experience. I tried to publish using these journals, but I found all or most of them are not suitable or relevant now. So what is meant by the classification of Q1, Q2, Q3, or Q4 of accredited scientific journals? How we can know Q1 from Q2? Q stands for quarter, meaning 25%. So journals are divided into 4 quarters according to their impact factor. That is the order of periodicals classified within Scopus and the alphabetical order of their titles. Schemajo ranks Scopus journal according to their impact factor, and the top 25 of these journals are included in Q1. The next 25% is within Q2, and less than 25 in terms of impact factor become Q4. So Q1 represents the best journals, or and most of them, or perhaps all of them, belong to the Clarivate inventory, and these journals can be viewed through the following link. If we use this link, we can, or we may know the Q1 or Q2 or 3 or 4 of the journals. Another problem or obstacle that even in the evaluation of international journals of the website of the Supreme Council of Universities in Egypt, there are no international journals or a very limited number in humanities, in the field of language and literature. This is what I found myself. And local and Egyptian journals are available only. In the evaluation of the Supreme Council of Universities, 7 may be better than publishing in an international journal, which we hardly get 7 in Q1 or Q2 in major. So this is the Supreme Council, Egyptian. There are also financial problems. This is a research paper which was published, and there is here the funding details. التمويل في أبحاث بتمول, but in humanities يعني we don't find it great. I tried to submit this the same research paper, but I found that the price or the fees for publishing it was 2,150 euro, which is maybe 40,000 Egyptian pound. This is great. This is so great. So when I tried to require for discount, they gave me discount for only 215 euro, which means the total is 1,935 euro. So there is here discount applied. They asked me if I want to apply discount. Then I asked them to yes, I want. So here I wrote my information or country discount. It's Egypt, affiliation discount, October 6th University. Then he required, or the journal required, the promotion code discount, which I do not have. So the total sum is this euro 1 or maybe 2,000, which is great number, great sum. The number of manuscript words, or we can call it the word count. The word count is very important, or another obstacle in humanities. So here in that research paper in another journal, which is called English Literary History, they told me that in the second paragraph, while we are interested in reviewing this work, your submission in its current form far exceeds our maximum word count اللي هو 20 or 12,000 words only, including all notes and end matter. Actually, my research paper word count was 16,000 words. So this for this it was rejected. When you publish with Scopus or another outstanding journals, they can send you invitation to be a reviewer. So they send you by the email to be in Scopus indexed journals to be a reviewer. And like here, they want me also to be the editorial board member, not only a reviewer, but you can be an editorial board member. And when you agree to accept their manuscripts and review it, they will send you, first of all, they ask you for permission. We received the manuscript titled Two Wheels of Fortune Within the Plots of King Lear. We will be grateful if you could create time to evaluate the manuscript, and we also appreciate receiving your comments and evaluations within 14 days of your acceptance of this invitation. So they give you also time, limited time, and you should also follow the rules or the instructions or guidelines of the review of the paper. And finally, if you agree, they will send you a certificate of excellence in reviewing to urge you and to encourage. Thank you so much. And finally, I hope this will be beneficial to our listeners and scholars. And thank you all for your great being wonderful audience. Thank you for hearing me out, and looking forward to seeing you again shortly. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jihan, for your very insightful presentation. And actually, it's very frank, and it's very, you just like walk us step by step to the process itself. And thank you for sharing your letters and samples of the kind of emails we expect finding, the process itself of publishing, reviewing, editing the paid and the open access kind of journals. So this is a lot of information. There is a lot of details there to be shared, and we're sure we're going to take you over again and again. Our audience are on Facebook. We have like 12 people watching us on Facebook now. We have 5 attendees now here. Thank you very much for coming. And Wissam Morsi is sending you her greetings and thanks you, just like everybody else, for this amazing presentation. It was amazing working with you again, Dr. Jihan. You're such a kind friend and a wonderful scholar. Okay, so as we get to meet later, I will send you the link for the YouTube video once it's streamed. And best of luck for today. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure.
Wa alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Do we have questions here? Yes, please.
اهلا دكتور جيهان، حضرتك نورتينا في كليه التربيه.
This is
واهلا دكتور غاده. طبعا يعني we have already received the great benefits of this session. سعدنا جدا بلقاء حضرتك دكتوره.
أهلا دكتور أحمد. الصوت ما كانش واضح عندي. I don't know, Dr. Jihan, could you hear the question?
Oh, no. No, I couldn't.
Type in this case, we will take the question on our Facebook or the chat that we have on the comments thread. And definitely we would wish to thank everybody for coming. And thank you, Dr. Ahmed Lachine, our friend, for coming and stepping by. Okay, so let me just like turn off and say good night for everyone. And thank you for coming. It's a real pleasure having you. Okay, bye-bye.